Good afternoon, everyone. This is a game from round 9 of the Kenya National Chess Championship Open section between Ben Magana and Kenneth Omolo, two of Kenya's veteran players. Ben Magana, of course, one of the best Kenyan players to ever play the game of chess. He has recently gained the Canada Master title, and he is mentoring the new generation of talents. Most notably, the player leading the tournament, FIDE Master. Why is his name escaping me now? The 14-year-old phenom Jaden Simiyu, who leads the tournament with 7.5 out of 9. Of course, this is not the first time these two players are meeting, but this is a game that I saw and felt I should share. So Ben with white opens with pawn to e4. Kenneth replies with d6, d4, taking the full center, knight f6, and the perk defense on the board. One of the more solid openings, and not usually known for a lot of attacking and everything, but as you will see, Ben shows us how to demolish it. And knight to c3, c6, h3. Of course, h3 is not the best move in this position. More commonly, we will see moves like f4, but okay, h3 works. g6, bishop to e3, bishop g7, queen d2. Of course, forming this battery, preparing probably to castle queenside, but main idea probably to trade off this bishop on g7 when black castles. Okay, queen d2, b5, bishop to d3, just reinforcing the center because of if the move b4 lands and the knight has to move, this pawn would be unguarded. But okay, let's see. Castles kingside by Kenneth, knight to f3 and a5, the beginning of a queenside pawn attack. But in this position, this is probably a mistake, and the engine will probably show us this. Yes, in this position, hold on, a5 gives Ben a probably 1 point advantage, nearly a 1 point advantage, which shows that this perk defense, the way Kenneth played it, is not the best. Of course, I cannot say anything. I am not anywhere near the level of these players, but as the engine shows, the best move probably was to start developing the knight on d7 because these queenside pieces are still stuck on the back rank. But okay, a5, castles by Ben, and a5 in this position allowed Ben to play bishop h6 immediately, but of course castling is the more prudent move, and he will always be able to play bishop h6 in the future. So queen to c7. I do not fully understand the move. Of course, there's a lot of moves I don't understand from these players who are at this level, but to be honest, it did not make sense because your knight has not moved, your rook hasn't moved, your bishop hasn't moved, and you're bringing out the queen so early. If you're going to play on the queen side, maybe you should try and develop those pieces first. But okay, queen c7, bishop h6, d5, e5, striking the center, bishop takes g7, king takes g7, and sliding the knight back to e2, anticipating that b4 will be played. So knight e2, rook e8, trying to justify his play in the center, knight g3, pawn takes d4, knight takes d4, and h6. Okay, so in this position, Ben can already see, I'm imagining, the attack on the king side will probably be strong because the black pieces on the queen side have yet to develop, and there's not a lot of space, especially in this opening. The perk defense where most of the time white has the space advantage. So moves like f4, rook d1, queen f4, in the future we will see. So rook e8, rook e1, knight f6, and f4. Bishop to d7. This is a big mistake, and as you can see from the evaluation, in this position the move e5 is completely winning, and probably black will have to start sacrificing material to stay in the game. But okay, Ben plays queen f2 first, which is not the best move, but still works, and the position is still much better for white. And now, as this idea of developing the knight out to a5 first, and as you can see from the time spent, bishop to d7, he had 1 hour and 3 minutes on the clock. He spent nearly all of his time calculating this position, and he still played the wrong move. And I think Ben took quite a bit of time as well, 20 something minutes, but he could see this position is completely winning now. Okay, knight c5 trying to trade off this bishop, e5 now lands, knight moves out of the way to d5, f5. Now you can see the position is deteriorating for black, and 3 minutes left on the clock. There's not much that Kenneth can do against this attack, so he takes the bishop on d3, knight takes d3, c takes d3, rook f8, and this is the beginning of the end. As you can see, once you start moving your rook back where it started, and this one hasn't even moved yet, like the position is completely lost here. And e6, this is completely destroying black's position. Pawn takes, and he sacrifices the rook on e6, e8, rook e8. Of course, you cannot take the rook if you take the rook. Knight takes check, wins the queen with a royal fork. So rook a e8, rook a e8, rook takes g6 check, king runs to h7, knight h5, and this is completely lost. There's nothing you can do. Rook f7, queen g3, bishop c8, trying to add a defender to this square, but this is completely finished, and Ben finishes in style with rook takes h6 check. And it was in this position that Kenneth resigned, because after you take the rook, queen g6 is checkmate. So yeah, this is a display from one of Kenya's best players, to be honest, and it was a joy to watch. Thank you for watching. I'll see you in the next one. Goodbye.